So this is our Claim Stars Savage Worlds sci-fi adventure, our first episode of a new ongoing series where our players are going to be members of a crew of a team on their own vessel out amongst the stars in a sector of space that we've kind of divided off. If you want to be specific, it's about uh, Marmoosman. Thank you for the follow. It's about 60 light years galactic southwest of Earth or the Sol system, if you want to be exact on where its location is. But roughly thereabouts, or at least that's where it begins. But that's where the story takes place. But thank you for joining us today, everyone. And that's our story that we're telling today. And but we had unfortunate news right before we started, unfortunately. So Robin, who was going to be joining us playing Dr. Vivian Fontaine, she won't be able to be here. So we're going to be looking for a fourth player. But anyways, so I'm on the prowl looking for another member. So hopefully we'll find one soon. But that's the good thing about Savage Worlds, right? It's not D&D. You don't need a balanced party of adventurers. You just need some players. Just need some players ready to have fun and they're excited to be here. So but anyways, so we're going to jump into introducing everyone's characters. We're going to keep introductions short though because I think some of the guys are still just trying to get to know their characters. So a lot of them are kind of unsure about what their characters are going to end up being long term. So, but we're going to kind of give names and maybe a brief description of who their characters are. And a lot of that's going to be figured out kind of as we play, if that makes any sense. So we did a session 0, but we were kind of pressed for time. A lot of the details we were still ironing out towards the end. So a lot of this session might be, we're going to be using flashbacks to kind of figure out some details in play. And also due to the absence of Dr. Fontaine, we're going to kind of poof her out. And we're going to have to answer some other questions that her existence is now going to kind of leave open. So, but thank you for joining us. So, anyways, and so we're going to start with Jeremy. Jeremy, tell us who you're playing today.
I am playing Levi Roosevelt, who, oh crap, what was the guy's name? I had an actor picked out for what this guy looks like. It's the guy from Tombstone that's the oldest brother. Anyway, I'll come back to that later.
Sam Elliott?
What now?
Sam Elliott?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. Right. But he's got the cowboy hat and Western guy going on. But other than that, he's like a security officer / pilot that really likes armor and like fiddling with that. Like he's an elderly character who likes, some old guys like fiddling with cars, some like, I don't know, tinkering in the other like woodworking and stuff. He likes tinkering with armor.
Very cool, very cool. There's actually a character from I think it was one of the Gears of War games, actually a while back, I think, that had like a cowboy hat, and I'm actually imagining that character now that I think about it when I'm imagining your character, because he had like a ton of armor on and he had like a cowboy hat, and I don't know why, but I'm picturing your character. I need to remember who this cat is if to find like a representation of your character. I think it was Gears of War. I want to say I think it was like 3 or something. He was like a minor character, and you can play him in multiplayer. I gotta find it now. But that's what I'm picturing.
You were 100% right, though. Sam Elliott is the actor.
Oh, nice. Okay. And I hope there's a story behind the cowboy hat, because I don't see your character as like a poser. Just wearing a cowboy hat because it's cool. Like he doesn't wear a cowboy hat that's like too clean. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
Like there's a story behind the cowboy hat. Maybe like he was on like a star hopping expedition for 5 years and like it just became a part of his head. Like it was like the sun was beating down on him for 5 years straight. and like he had to wear it all the time, and then he just after that he felt naked without it. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be a story there because if you wear one otherwise, just like in a space station, you're just a poser, right? But
Or you're just pretending to. Yes, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah,
you see what I'm
you're
saying?
pretending to
Right,
be a
right,
cowboy. Yeah.
right. Uh, Not to knock anyone who wears cowboy hats in the modern era, but I guess I am knocking people who wear cowboy hats in the modern era. But anyways, uh, sorry, on away from mocking people, Matt. Starting off on the right foot. Sorry for people who wear cowboy hats out there in the world. Matt, tell us about Arthur. You're muted, Matt. There's always one person. Don't feel bad, Matt. Still muted. Maybe you guys are hearing him and I'm not.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, Matt, do what? We'll skip you to Jeremy. Sorry, to Shaun. And we'll come back to you while you fix your issues. So, Shaun, tell us about Spencer Witt.
Okay, so Spencer Witt is on the run. He is, I think we said he was, I can look at it, probably about 14, 15 right now. I don't think we've decided on an age, but he is young, so he's a teenager, and he is a scion, so he has psionic abilities, and he fell in with a group of organized crime group in order to help his dad pay off some bills. He thought it was really cool originally, but then he started realizing, like, oh, these are actually terrible people that are hell bent on killing people for money, doing all sorts of terrible stuff. So he was able to get away and turn a lot of evidence over to law enforcement. So right now he's on the run. Nobody from his past really knows what happened to him, but that could change in the future. So we'll see where
10-4.
game takes us.
10-4. All right. Well, we lost Matt altogether on the cameras. I hope he's all right. So hopefully we get him back soon. I'm thinking his audio was maybe Boffin judge me in chat. I apologize for giving people shit about cowboy hats. Jeez. All right.
All the people watching
gotta
this
leave
stream
it to
cowboy hats right now.
Yeah, I know, right? Throwing their cowboy hats off in anger. Just
But you know who
stomping
else
on their
who
cowboy
rides high
hats.
horses a lot, right?
Huh?
I mean, cowboys ride high horses a lot. Right?
That's right. That's right. I didn't mean that as a pun, but that is an excellent pun. But that's funny. All right. Well, hopefully Matt will get in here soon. The cameras will fix themselves. Hopefully. But otherwise we're screwed. All right. So I will briefly talk about the story a little bit and the cameras are all messed up. Okay. So Matt, tell us who you're playing while I'm getting the cameras all fixed. Is your audio fixed? No. Cannot hear you. You sure it's not just your in the microphone settings at the bottom? It didn't just switch it up.
I looked. It's
Oh wait, we can hear you now. We hear you.
what?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe your microphone was cutting out for some reason.
Well, I just opened my webcam software, so maybe that's messing with it.
Okay. Well, we're fixed now. Let me get while you entertain the folks on the stream
All right,
while
so
I get the camera sorted out. So
my character is Arthur. He is a young scientist. He has had to flee his homeworld after discovering that a corporation for which his family worked was illegally, I don't remember what, mind controlling people essentially. It wasn't mind control. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but they were influencing people in ways they shouldn't have been. So he has a forged idea and is on the run.
10-4. And both you and Levi are both from the same world, correct?
Yes. Palisade. Or
Palisadia, yeah.
Palisadia.
Yeah, 10-4. And you're actually, we'll say, you're actually the newest member to the team at this moment. We're going to stick with that same story, correct? Yeah. I think that's
Sounds good.
probably a good idea to stick with that same story. And so as you guys are looking at right now on the map, Matt's Boffer's, they're saying you're a little quiet. If there's a way
I'm quiet.
Yeah, you're a little quiet. There's a way to increase your microphone volume a little bit.
Testing. Is that better?
Yeah, that was better. Much better. Maybe there's a way I can increase your... No, I can't increase your volume on Zoom.
Something increased between when he started and now, but
Well, how is it? How is it now?
You're great now.
Excellent.
All right, so anyways, Boffer says a little better. So but we're gonna be, as you're seeing in the map window right now, you're seeing a star map or a scene of stars and a planet in the background. And basically, I'm setting the scene for an image of where your vessel is in space. And we're going to begin on your characters and your vessel tumbling in space, silently, rolling and spinning. You see shards of it. Like if the camera on a movie was like zoomed in from outer space, you see shards of it just like floating free from it, just like out in space, just spinning wildly, and the ship just tumbling. There's another ship beside yours, and there's cables attached to yours. And I'm sorry, there's one cable attached to yours. There's 3 cables that looks like they might have been attached to yours at one point, but now they're flapping wildly through space. Well, whatever you call flapping. It's more like they're just kind of floating, because there's not really gravity per se. They're just kind of like, and the whole scene is crazy because both ships are just tumbling. And they're just kind of getting thrown by whatever concussive force did hit them, and now whatever, they're just kind of keep going in the same direction they were going. Whatever thrust them in that direction. And we zoom in on Spencer inside the ship. Spencer, you're inside, probably we'll say hidden away somewhere in a cargo hold somewhere. You have not made yourself visible to the rest of the crew yet. And you've hidden yourself in here. I want you to begin with an athletics roll, please.
Okay. First roll.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so your athletics roll was good. So what happened was there was an explosion, a concussive force of some kind. You hiding in the ship, you don't know what's been happening the last couple of days since you've been hidden on this ship. But you just been scrounging with whatever food you had when you first got on the ship, trying not to get spotted. And then suddenly out of nowhere, an explosion. The ship started tumbling. Alarms started going off. The ship stabilized. Then a second explosion. And the ship started tumbling again. You managed to grab onto something to stabilize yourself. The ship is now tumbling. Now, have you grabbed onto something and Like, are you turning on your magnetic boots, or are you just like? It's assumed, by the way, that everyone has magnetic boots. It's just part of clothing. So,
Okay.
it's just
Yes.
normal, like attire for people on a ship. Uh, Now, so you're in the cargo hold of this vessel. So, what are you doing at this point?
So basically, I've just been trying to hide.
Yes, you have. You have not made yourself known to the rest of the people on this ship yet.
Yeah. So what is actually in this cargo hold? It's just like a bunch of boxes or
It's a bunch of supplies of different kinds. They've got them locked
Mhm.
down pretty good. They're in pretty sturdy crates. Based on the labels, you believe that there's a lot of medicines and machinery.
Oh, okay. So I'm camped out behind like some of the machinery, like the bigger items.
Hmm.
So I've kind of got my
It looks like
backpack
the
and
when I say machinery, it means like replacement parts
okay,
for
yeah.
machinery.
Or like I imagine those would be in like large boxes or something
Yes,
like that.
yes,
So kind of back there, like laying down, trying to do anything I can to um, just kind of like hide,
right.
for the majority of this trip. And the only time I really come out is to go like if I think these guys are asleep or something to that effect,
All right.
hanging out.
You don't like look out to see what's happening, maybe to try to ascertain the
Oh yeah,
situation.
right now, yeah,
Okay.
definitely. I just kind of like poke my head out over the top
All right.
because
So when
I'm
you poke
worried.
your head out over the top,
Mhm.
you see someone look out. So you see someone spot you in the cargo hold
Uh,
because they're in the cargo hold, and they train a gun at you immediately, and they say, "Tell us where the rest of the people on the ship are." And it's a scrawny fellow with a wispy beard, and he seems to
mhm.
have like this like crooked back and like this strange gait to him, and he tries to grab at you.
Okay.
So I believe I believe you would have to make it would be grapple. So I believe to resist grapple, you would use this is a great time to actually check this. Uh, Attacker and defender athletics. So
Okay.
make an athletics roll to resist this.
Oh, Jesus.
Mhm.
Uh, I must be like stunned, so I just like freeze up, I guess, and this guy just tackles me. Oh,
Well, he's not very athletic, so
oh okay.
you don't have to worry about too much. All right, so he uh he grabs you. Actually, he fails to grab you because he still has to get a forward, doesn't he? On opposed
I
roll.
think so.
Yeah. So he
Yes, we
fails
both
to
fail. I just
grab
fail
you.
harder.
He fails to grab you. Sorry. He fails to establish a grapple. So he grabs you, but you trip
Mhm.
and fall, and then you rip free from his grasp because you got a critical failure, right? And
Mhm.
and then you slip free from his fingers. And but what happens is when you fall, you pull
Mhm.
the cargo netting and you rip free one of the hooks, and a whole bunch of the boxes in the cargo hold just tumble down and fall down on top of him. And
Oh,
then he just starts
nice.
screaming in agony.
Okay.
All right, as they tumble down on top of him. So at this point, this is actually a good time to bring in Arthur. So Arthur, you are actually. This is a good time to actually talk about you guys' ship. All right, so you guys haven't actually talked about what your ship is, and actually Matt was in actually my stream the other day when we were talking about the ship offerings, and so we're gonna see Matt at some place in the ship, and since I didn't mean to do that. Let me share that one again. Uh, you guys are gonna get to share. You guys are gonna get to choose a ship, and you guys are gonna get to choose from a couple of different options that I'm gonna share. Uh, Now I've decided two different options for you guys, and the reason why I'm placing the options now for you is because there's battle maps for them, and also because they have different purposes and they have different bonuses. So I've decided that each of them have different fuel bays, like fuel amount of fuel they can hold in days, different size ration charges, and they also have different bonuses, what's called tags, different benefits. So I'm just going to share this document here. Okay, so this is called ship options document, and it goes through the two options. One is called the Griffin Explorer, and the other is called the Tellurian Transport. Okay, the Griffin Explorer is a more advanced ship. It's newer, it's more modern, it's more cramped. It's more shaped like an arrowhead. It's more efficient in its design. It's better at handling. It uses fuel more efficiently. It goes 12 days on a full tank. That means 12 days of flying basically full speed at subspace travel. Okay. And those are its bonuses. Telemetry Center, which gives you a +2 to electronics and notice when you're on the ship. Med Lab, +2 to healing. It has 2 shuttle bays. And right now it has 1 landing shuttle. Okay. And the Tellurian shuttle, it's big. Meaning it has bulky. It means it's going to be harder to fit in places. You know. It's luxurious. When I'm saying it's luxurious, it has a lot of nice features in it. But it's a fuel burner, which means that it's going to take a fuel cost, which means that anytime you pay for wealth rolls to fill up the tank, it's going to cost -1 penalty. It's basically like a big rig truck, basically when it comes to fuel cost. But it holds less fuel. Well, it actually has bigger fuel tanks. It just burns fuel faster. Does that make sense? So it only holds 8 days worth of fuel. So, but its bonuses are the Science Lab, which is +2 to research and science. Med Lab, +2 to healing. Engineering Deck, which is +2 to repair. Rec VR Center, +1 to natural recovery. And a large cargo hold. So those are your two options, and I can also share the maps to each. And I'll just share them in the chat log, and you guys can pull them up and look at them.
The Griffin Explorer has like a regular cargo hold or some kind of cargo hold, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's just a smaller one, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the advantage to it has that landing shuttle base, so you wouldn't have to land the ship to go places, right? You could use a landing shuttle to do things, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. When you're in the map of the ship, how the crap do I get? How can I scroll around in it? That's what
in the bottom right-hand corner, that little symbol. Click and hold on that and move it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Or you can middle mouse button, click and drag. Works as
Yeah,
well, at
you
least
can do
for
that
me.
too.
Check.
We on the stream the other day we talked a little bit about potentially being able to upgrade.
Yes,
parts
you
of the
can
ship.
upgrade either of these ships too.
Well, I mean, because I like the science lab and the engineering deck, but if we can eventually upgrade the Griffin Explorer with this or outfit it with these,
Yeah, yeah, you
I
could.
think.
But if we can work within the fact that these are pre-prepared maps, that'd be
Right.
great. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
'Cause I definitely prefer the efficiency of the first one.
Yeah.
Griffin.
Yeah, so Jeremy likes Griffin Explorer, but Levi, the character, would definitely rather have the Tellurian transport.
Well, I mean, just some
So-
things to remember too for Levi though, but like the fact that the Griffin Explorer has the +1 handling, and Levi's not an excellent pilot. You know,
That's what you think.
he still has a D6, right?
So since I don't know. No.
Oh, he's
I
higher than
tweaked some
D6
stuff
now.
between yesterday or the last time you looked at it and right now.
Oh, he's D8 now.
because-
Okay.
Yeah, and I bumped
Okay.
basically I bumped some smart stuff down and some other stuff up to also have another
Okay.
halfway decent persuasion
Gotcha.
since Robin.
But like, say you lowered your electronics, which means you wouldn't be as good at doing things on the ship.
Exactly.
Having the telemetry center on the Griffin Explorer would be nice. So, just things to think about. So, and that's part of the Griffin Explorer being so advanced. I actually have no opinion on this. So, I like them both. They're kind of the Tellurian is really neat in that it has like the VR center. You know, it's also kind of like this big, bulky monstrosity, but also like the Griffin is like the sleek arrowhead ship that you might dogfight in. I don't know. They've also got their neat little features, both of them. So. But you will have to pay for a lot of fuel with that Tellurian transport. Oh, I guess I can be more clear up front, too, about how much you'll have to buy fuel. It takes days to travel between subspace travel. Like, days. I have a system in place, but I'm not going to share it with you guys because I may end up changing it, depending on if I feel like it's hurting y'all too much. But we're talking days of in-system travel. So, but...
Yeah. Well, the Tellurian transport has a rec VR center. So
yeah, it's +1 to
that's
natural
what-
recovery rolls, which means if you need to heal wounds. And remember, you don't have a doctor anymore. So
Yeah.
We have a crotchety old man who'll say, toughen up and shut up, Wesley.
yeah, go hit the
I
gym,
would like to sit
Go hit
on
the
my
gym,
ass,
Wesley.
then.
Yeah, yeah, it does have a gym.
Wait. This one, Tellurian has escape pods. Those are immensely
It does have escape. I didn't write that. I guess I should have wrote escape pods. Yeah, but really, escape pods aren't going to save you. They're just going to make it take longer for you to die. I mean, who's going to fucking find you on some rock somewhere? I mean, it's just that's the real truth of this universe.
Nice.
Well, okay, so what has the ship been used for? You mentioned maybe having Levi own it. Did you decide?
Well, what I was thinking was at this point in time in the story is that there's currently a captain of this ship. When the story begins, I was going to say like Captain Davidson, and you guys have been working with this captain. He's been y'all's mate, like a friend of y'all's. and y'all have all been working with him. And at this point, he's just an NPC that you have all been working with. And as far as you know, that he's been operating with y'all this whole time, and he's he's kind of about maybe in his early 40s, kind of a salt and peppered haired fellow with a thin cropped beard, and he's kind of the captain of this vessel, and Levi's maybe kind of a co-pilot type thing, or maybe Levi's the pilot, maybe, and he just owns it, and that's what your current arrangement is at this time. So.
And what have we been doing with the ship?
Right now you're working with Astra Unum. You're on a mission right now for Astra Unum. So,
okay, so it's been just transporting us
how much you know right now actually depends on the athletics roll I'm going to ask you to make right now.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering because it might, what we've been doing with the ship might help us choose. Well, it makes sense that we'd be using the Griffin Explorer or whichever.
Both of them could be fine, applicable.
I think I vote the Griffin, for what it's worth.
You know what? Y'all don't have to make the decision right just this yet. Y'all can think about it for about 15 minutes or so. What Matt's gonna tell me where he's at doesn't have to be decided right now. So Matt, why don't you make Arthur make an athletics roll for me real quick?
All right. He does not have athletics as a skill.
Then you will roll an unskilled roll.
Woohoo!
That's always fun. Okay, so you roll. So what happens is so Arthur is looking through his repair toolkit when the second explosion goes off, because he's like fumbling trying to find where he put his stunner pistol. And the second explosion went off, and he gets thrown backwards, and everything goes black. And you come to, and you hear klaxon going off in the ship. And you look over to your right, and you see the display on the next to the door, kind of flashing, right? It flashes like various like important displays, and it's got a laundry list of important displays. It says like false gravity, like inoperable, and all this kind of stuff, and then it also shows a security feed of the cargo hold, and you see all the cargo just strewn about. And you start, right, I'm assuming, tumbling, trying to get back up to your feet. And you have no recollection of recent events. Your head is jumbled. Actually, make a vigor roll real quick for me.
4.
You fail by 4. If you get a critical failure on this, you'll take a wound. But if you
did not show up.
Okay. Oh, great. Good deal. Okay, you're good. I was looking at the wrong screen. All right. So you're good. Okay. No wounds, no fatigue. All right. Good deal. So your memory's all disjumbled right now, but so you're not sure exactly what led you all in this position. You think your memory will come back to you in just a couple minutes, but you definitely know something's going definitely wrong with the ship, and you feel the strong need to find Captain Davidson or Mr. Levi. So, but there's definitely something going on wrong in the cargo hold. So you come back up to your feet, and you see that like display next to the door, and you see the cargo hold is all strewn out. You know what? I'll actually give you a chance to see a notice roll to see if you see Spencer scrambling away from the cargo.
Okay. I assume I see the intruders.
Shit.
Wow. Okay. All right. Make an agility roll, Spencer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. You see these scramble. You see the guy screaming in agony as the cargo tumbles on top of him, and you see a shadowy figure, kind of a small. Actually, let me look at your mouth. Yeah, a small, kind of scrawny, shadowy figure. You got a strength and vigor of D4. Kind of like trying to run away from the scene. You can't make out much more than that. And you see cargo just everywhere.
Hmm.
What do you do, Arthur?
I think Arthur is going to grab his toolkit and continue trying to find his stunner pistol. But he's going to, as he's rummaging through it, he's going to exit and try to find the captain, who he assumes is probably on the flight deck, but the bridge.
All right. Okay. All right. So when you start to walk back over to the toolkit, you realize that in the explosion, it actually flew out of the toolkit and it slid over by the far side of the room. So, and you see it on the ground over there. You go over to pick up the stunner pistol.
Yeah, he's still gonna go grab it.
All right. Okay. So you go scoop it up and head towards the flight deck.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So we're going to zip on over to Levi. Actually, real quick, Spencer, what is your destination now that you've escaped the cargo hold? Because I didn't get an answer on where are your intentions.
Yeah, I don't know. I got attacked. So let me see.
You don't know if it's a member of the crew. You don't know who it is.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping it's not a member of the crew because I was like, dude, I hopped on
You hopped on the wrong fucking boat.
Yeah, like a not-for-profit, like, organization ship. I didn't think there'd be all these crazy people pointing guns at me. So I am going to go try and hide in, I don't know, do they have like a kitchen or something like that?
Yeah, there's a kitchen. Why do you want to go to the kitchen?
Somewhere to hide. I figure if people are pointing
like hide in a
guns, the last
pantry or
place-
something.
Yeah. Well, I
Gotcha.
figure my character A probably hasn't eaten in a day or two, but the other side of it is if there's people running around with guns everywhere, they're probably not going to be running in the kitchen.
All right, cool. Pretty smart. Okay.
And anywhere but the cargo right now. So he probably isn't like super familiar with the layout.
Right.
But he's like, I just need to get out of here. He doesn't want to go hide in anybody's room, So something big enough that probably has multiple exits. And I think like a kitchen or a mess facility or something would probably fit that bill.
Right.
So.
All right, cool. Okay. All right, so Levi, we're going to do a flashback with you and the Captain Davidson. So, all right, so just a few minutes prior to everything going down. Okay, so you guys were traveling in this system. You guys recently passed through the jump cannon from the ILAR system and into the TACUS system. All right. And just this past day. And you were caught off guard by an attack from wolves. Okay. Wolves is just another common phrase for pirates. Okay. And they're kind of colloquially known as wolves in this setting for a reason, but I won't get into that right now. But or at least you think they're wolves. We'll say that. They've got all the boxes checked. That makes you think wolves. Anyways, it began with a quick attack against your engines to try to shut you down. Um, it it worked pretty successfully, and Captain Davidson ordered that you stand down, and they wanted to board you, and they were in the middle of slinging cables to board your vessel. Basically, stabilize your ship with cables, and then board you. They started boarding. You think they got 2 or 3 people on here when another explosion went off. You don't know if your ship got hit or their ship got hit. And then suddenly the comms started going off. But by that point, you blacked out. Because the whole cockpit, everybody just started, like, the whole place was basically an array. Because everybody wasn't expecting it. You guys were out of the cockpit chairs. You were getting your weapons out. You were basically going to plan to attack them when they got on the ship. Captain Davidson wasn't going to give up the ship. He was just going to let them get on the ship and start shooting them. So, but that was the plan, and that's why Arthur was going for a stunner pistol, and so it kind of backfired when someone else started shooting at him. So something else is happening here now, and you don't know what is causing it, but you're getting shot at from some other outside source. So I want you to make an athletics roll to stabilize yourself. All right. Okay, so you managed to like grab on to like a seat in the cockpit or something to kind of stabilize yourself, and so you don't like tumble or anything like that, or hit your head or wound yourself in any way. And Captain Davidson looks at you and says, "I don't think we were shot. I think they were." And then he says, "Hit your mag boots." And then he taps his at the same time, and the ship starts tumbling out of control at that moment. And so
can I get to a screen to try and, like a sensors or something, to see if I see another ship?
Yeah, you can. Sure. Yeah. That would be, I would say, a notice to read the screens, read the sensor screens.
Swoosh. Nope.
Yeah, so you get over to the sensor screen and you start tapping the sensor screen, right? And it looks like in the attacks and everything like that, you start touching your finger against it, and it looks like when you slam your finger against it, it like cracks because it already taken damage. So, and you go, damn! All right. He says, shit. He says, let me go to the comms. And then he just like slowly like walks over to the comms with his mag boots, and he gets over to the comms, and he starts changing the frequencies, and like he gets it to the correct one, and you hear this is Cacus Defense Force. This is Tacus Defense System. We're here to assist. We're here to assist your vessel. We've fired upon your attackers. We'll be there momentarily. Have they already began boarding procedures? I repeat, have they already began boarding procedures? And then Captain Davidson responds, yes, they have. They have attached to us. We believe, and he's kind of trying to look around through the cockpit and see around. And he says, we've still got one cable attached. They're too close to us to take another shot. We'll get damaged in the attack. Do not use torpedoes. We'll handle this. He says, come on.
So I want to, unless he tells me something different, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go see if I can find the intruders.
This. All right. Good idea. I'll stay up here and see if I can get this thing moving.
Check. We don't have like there's not an armory or something on the ship, is there? To get another
I'm
pistol.
sure you have a place where you put equipment. Like if you don't have your equipment on you, but you don't have spare equipment.
So let me rephrase. I have bought a single pistol.
No, you don't have. No, y'all don't have like
somebody else's.
He
pistol.
says. He says. Oh, you bought a single pistol.
Captain's.
Oh. Oh no, he says. He says. He says, "Go get my rifle."
Cool. I will go get the rifle.
I know you guys will need all the help you can get in this campaign. So, you're already down one player. As far as weapons, you guys are going to need all the help you can get. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I'll get that and start systematically sweeping the ship. I feel like this is something I would have already planned out or
right.
What is it, gamed out with anybody else who would cooperate and was on the ship prior to this.
Right. Okay. Okay, this is when this is actually a good time to discuss what. Okay, if you guys had a chance to figure out what ship you do like at this point. Do each of you have an opinion? Your favorite?
Go, Shaun.
I was thinking it's hard to turn down the Griffin Explorer, even though it's going to be like a gas hog. But the other one has the RC unit, which my character would be like, yeah, that's what he wants.
Which one's going to be the gas hog?
The Griffin.
He switched the names.
Wait. Which one's going to be the gas?
Talarian.
Isn't the
Talarian gas hog and the one with the VR?
Oh, is it? Okay. I don't know. The pop-up that I was reading went away.
Oh, did I accidentally unshare it?
Yeah, that actually gave the...
let me bring it back up. I'll share it again. Okay. Oh, no, it's shared still. There you go.
Ship options. Okay. But the Talarian is luxurious. I guess it depends on how much we're going to need that +1 handling. My characters all love the comfort, so he likes his comfort.
Nah.
For me, Arthur would love the science lab and the engineering deck. And yes, the
of course he would.
VR center would be awesome. However, as a player, I really like the idea of starting with the Griffin Explorer and maybe building up to, having a science lab and engineering deck and such.
Yeah, instead of having everything all at once, right?
Right.
Right.
It's cramped.
But we can retrofit the second shuttle bay to something else. I mean, we can make it work.
It's true. The second shuttle bay could be like a lab or something, or
if by lab you mean still, then yes, I agree. Brewery,
distillery. Oh, nice.
We need it. So.
So I guess my vote would be for the Griffin Explorer, even though I really like the Talarian.
I think I'm in that same boat. So vote for Griffin, even though the Tolarian would be pretty fun. I think to start out with, being able to just get around with spending less gas is probably a good idea.
What is that? 2 for Griffin? And 1 for Tolarian?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to be flying it, and seeing as I'm a stowaway at this point.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Story-wise?
you're still a person playing.
I
you're a
know
player.
playing, but
Yeah.
So
Think of it this way: you could steal the shuttle right now.
I could. So
Okay.
actually, that might be a good idea.
For no definition of good ever.
All right, so in the so the Griffin, then. Okay, so pull that one up on the stream, and it had to make it so big it blocked the chat log. I love when it does that, even though I made it small, so it wouldn't do that. Gotta love that. Okay, so you were up in the cockpit, and then you were heading towards the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And so Arthur, I would imagine that you were fumbling for your toolkit somewhere. So I'm thinking you probably would have been either fumbling for your toolkit, either in your passenger deck or in the telemetry center near the cockpit. Where would you want to say your toolkit was? Where would you want to say you were at when you were fumbling for it?
I think most likely he'd be in the telemetry center.
Okay, so you wouldn't be far behind them when you were. So they just turned and left the cockpit, and there you were. So, okay, okay, sweet. All right, so they stumble, so they kind of rush out of the cockpit, and then there you are, just like fumbling, grabbing your stunner pistol, and I guess you kind of you come out the doors of the telemetry center, and they're coming down. They're running down the stairs, or about to start running down the stairs, down to the lower deck as you come out. Sorry, Levi is. Why don't you guys, both of you, describe your characters to each other as you're both coming out the different set of doors of the ship?
Well, Arthur is kind of tall and thin. He has black hair, black eyes. Yeah, kind of skinny guy, skinny young guy. No facial hair.
So Levi's got like some metal cybernetic replacement in his jaw because he's old and been in firefights, and has gray hair, at least the part that he has, and leathery old skin kind of thing, wrinkled, but like still what is the word? Not skinny, but he's not like old and fat. The lean tone, that's the word.
Yeah.
He's not like super strong, but he's old man strength. How about that? That kind of thing.
Gotcha. I follow you. We're on the same page. And cool. And so, what are you guys like wearing? Like what is Arthur's garb? Like, what does he look like?
I mean, nothing fancy. He doesn't have any armor or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's whatever be, I don't know, business casual in space. I assume.
All right. Okay.
He's not a red shirt, however.
So it's not like he's not wearing the garb of a crewman. Really?
I guess not, unless that was required by the captain.
No, I don't think it would be. No. But 10-4. All right. What about Levi? What does he look like? What is he kind of dressed in?
Well, if we had thought there would have been combat, he probably would have had his
Probably
armor
wouldn't
on,
have.
but I kind of doubt we were expecting that.
No.
So it just probably a normal, like, probably the ship's, whatever passes for the ship's uniform. And if there's not really one, then something like coveralls
So that's the thing
or
about tactical armor,
pilot
right?
jumpsuit.
That's the thing about tactical armor is that it's like obvious armor,
Yeah.
you know, as opposed to like just like a padded jumpsuit and like a deflector jacket, right? It's clothing armor. Uh,
We'll
but
get there eventually.
yeah, yeah. But or like a self defense vest you can just strap on.
Yeah.
But 10-4. So you guys run into each other in the hall. Is there an exchange of words? Like a brief exchange of words? Do you relay any information to each other as you just like look each other in the eye for a brief second, or what?
How much experience have I seen this guy shoot anything?
Probably not, actually. Probably
Okay.
not.
So
Been together, we'll say, you've been together on one. He's been on together with you on one mission since you've been with Astra Unum.
does it look like
2
he
weeks.
can shoot not me and shoot the bad guy?
He knows how to hold. He's holding the stunner pistol correctly,
But if
and
we've
it
been
is
on a
loaded.
mission,
So
I think you would have realized he's very much more about his brain than about bronze.
Brains are great. This is more a question of, if I tell you to follow me, are you going to accidentally shoot me in the back? Is the question that's going through my character's head right now. So,
well, Arthur was not planning on running to find the bad guys. He was going to find the captain and see if he could get some systems online to help deal with the situation, because
check.
Fighting is not his forte.
Check. Then I'll say the captain's okay. He's in the bridge. We call it a bridge, right? Cockpit, whatever we call it. And
sure, if you want to.
The other security forces are on the way. I'm going to find the intruders, the boarders. And then if there's, wait a second to see if there's something you want to add, and then I'll keep going down the stairs, kind of thing.
Arthur will say, I saw some people in the cargo hold. Cargo had fallen on a couple of them, but there was one that had escaped. I couldn't really tell. It was a small movement. I don't know what it is, but it looked like it was heading out of the cargo hold.
Check.
And then we see both of you go different directions, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So you dart down the stairs, and then you head back in towards the cockpit. Okay. All right. All right. Cool. All right. So, all right. So you head down the stairs, and you get down to the foot of the stairs, and you turn towards the bottom. And actually, this is a good time to actually share your characters. Let's put everybody in the combat tracker just so we can kind of keep track of movement. We're not going to keep track of like combat movement here. This is just kind of keep track of where everybody is on the ship. And so we're going to say you're here. I don't know why that didn't work. Okay. You're there. Oh, it's doing facing. I don't know why it does facing. I accidentally turned that on. Let me turn that off. I don't need facing. Got a giant arrow. Well, I don't know how to turn it off. Hold on. Oh, facing indicator. There we go. Off. There we go. And then we'll put Spencer Witt out there, and then we'll put I'll put Levi twice. I don't know why I did that. Okay, Arthur. There we go. Okay, so Arthur is up here, and Spencer is down in the we'll say, oh, he's down in the cargo hold. Right there. Alright. Okay, perfect. Okay. So you're actually not very far away from each other. Okay. Alright. And so now you get down to the bottom level, Levi, and Arthur, you run up to the door there to the cockpit, and it doesn't open at first when you try to open it. When you hit the door controls to try to open it, and you hear Captain over the intercom. He says, "Who is it?"
It's Arthur.
Oh, he says, "Oh, okay, all right. Let me let you in. Hold on." And then you hear like over the comms before you hear him click off the controls, you hear glass shattering, and you hear like the sounds of like a vacuum cleaner, like a loud vacuum cleaner, and the door starts to open. What do you do really quickly? Make an agility roll.
Arthur is going to hit the controls to close it.
Make an agility roll. See if you respond quick enough. Okay. All right. So you got your magnetic boots on. So what happens is your upper body starts to get pulled through the door. It appears that the wolves have used a gun turret and have opened fire on the cockpit of your vessel and have just shot out the front of the ship, and it starts sucking air out, the vacuum, and it happened right as he opened the door for you. And so make a vigor roll for me.
Is the captain like right there? Can I see him like right on the other side of the door?
Yeah, actually, that's okay. Great. You made your vigor roll. Okay, to avoid taking a wound this first round. Okay, all right. Now the captain is actually going to get an athletics roll. I'm gonna say his athletics is D8. Wow. Okay. All right. So he.
Can I like throw my arm out, like use a strength?
Well,
roll
he used the controls at the cockpit to open the door. He didn't use the controls at the door to open it. So he gets like pulled just straight out the cockpit, just. But your magnetic boots kick in. It feels like your ankle just snaps as your magnetic boots barely hold you on. But what happens is they really actually don't. Because magnetic boots aren't strong enough to hold you in a vacuum. You know? But what they do is they prevent you from getting sucked out immediately. So what happens is you start tumbling towards the door slowly. Tumbling out the window slowly. So you're tumbling, and the wound is from the cold and suffocation, and from the vacuum. But what happens is that the emergency shutters kick in at the last moment, and you slam into the emergency shutters. And we're going to give you 1 fatigue for bumps and bruises as you slam into the emergency shutters. All right. So you tumble and roll and slam into their emergency shutters. All right. But the captain is no more.
Okay.
Well, his fingers are there, the controls, but
Does this ship have any sort of like interior security, like I don't know, auto turrets or something like that?
no.
Okay.
If only you'd be so lucky.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah. But you can get that upgraded.
So he got thrown inside.
All right. Back to Spencer. So, Spencer, you are in the cargo hold. You're going to climb that ladder to come out of the cargo hold?
Yes.
All right. So you climb the ladder to come out of the cargo hold, and you come up here, and you make it to here, and we'll say that Levi's about here. Are you being stealthy, or are you just running for the kitchen?
I
Do you
am.
really know where the kitchen is?
Yeah, so I'm being stealthy. Because I don't know where it is.
Yeah. Okay, make a stealth roll.
Of course.
Okay. Levi, make a notice roll. He says he has a backpack on his character sheet. I'm assuming he had some on his backpack when he got on the ship, and he got on the ship in the ILAR system. So I'm assuming he had some food with him. So he got on the last stop y'all got from the last system. So, wow, both of you are terrible. Okay, so neither of you hear each other. What's funny is that there's someone else here. Okay. So Shaun, Spencer, I need you to also make a notice roll.
Okay.
Because they're on fire. Oh, I need to give you
Yeah.
your bennies. I need to give you your bennies. I didn't give you your bennies. I cannot remember how to reset bennies.
There was a button before.
Oh, I need
That
to.
one.
Actually, we need to talk about. Oh crap! I forgot about. Okay, so I was going to talk to you guys about adventure cards. Okay, we were going to do adventure cards in this edition. Okay, so adventure cards. Great time to talk about this. Okay, so this is something we've never done before in Savage Worlds. So we're going to do adventure cards in this campaign. So adventure cards are basically just a cool way that you can change the game. And so everyone will get one adventure card. You'll get more as you go up in rank. And so I'm going to give out each of you an adventure card at this point. I think I can deal them out the same way. Yep. Okay, so all of you should have an adventure card now. It's on your sheet under the tab called ADV cards. And you can hover over it. You can actually physically see the image, but you can also hover over it and it tells you what it says at the top. Like, for example, Roosevelt says, a trusted friend turns against you, allying with your foes, and spilling your secrets. You get a point of conviction or refresh your starting bennies if your conviction isn't in play. What is conviction? You know, we'll let you get another adventure card because I don't know what that is. I've never even heard of conviction.
So we don't need to like load the Suede Adventure Deck module or anything like that? Because it looks like it showed up just fine.
Yeah, it probably showed up just fine. Should have.
I was just wondering.
I'm trying to figure out how to deal them though. I'll figure it out later. Oh, here we go.
Conviction is a setting rule.
Setting rule.
Basically, it's a here, have a d6 to add to a single trait or damage total,
Oh,
but it's a one-time use thing.
oh. Why would they make a setting rule in a
That's
adventure
just
card?
where it fell out.
Yeah.
Do we
where they
get
put
a
that
new
adventure.
card every session? Like, how
Yeah,
often do we
you
get
get
new
one
cards?
new session.
Okay.
Uh, trying to figure out how to deal you another card. I will figure it out.
It went away.
Yep, mine
It went
just
away.
disappeared.
You
Oh, it went away?
shuffled, and I think it took it away.
Oh. That explains it. Okay. Then everybody should have new cards now. My apologies for that. I hit the wrong button. Okay. Alright. Still learning how to use the Adventure Connect. Alright. Okay. But anyway, so Shaun Spencer Witt failed his notice roll. And unfortunately, that's not good for him. So I need you to make an athletics roll. Unfortunately, Spencer. There's advantage to you being a kid. People treat you special.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
and people tend not to just beat the shit out of you when you're a little kid.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Alright.
Are you sure? I don't think I believe that.
I mean it's just the way it is. I mean it's just life. Alright.
Hey, I was a teenager and I know those guys get the shit kicked out of them all the time. So. Frank heard.
Of course they sometimes roll higher than you though. Alright, so you I forgot to add is get the drop bonus. Alright. Okay, so that's still an 11. So that's a raise. Alright, so now you are I believe since you got a raise. With a raise, he is bound. Yep. Now you are bound and entangled. So, alright, so someone comes up behind you, a big brutish guy, and at the last moment, you turn around and see him. And he grabs you by the throat with one hand and the waist with the other. And just picks you up off the ground. And you are now bound and entangled. And he doesn't know Levi's there. And he just says, you're coming with me, and you're going to lead me to the cockpit, and you're going to tell me where everyone is. I'm going to find everyone on this ship, and we're going to figure out what happened to my friends. And, alright, and that's what he does. Alright? And now we're going to add the bound and entangled effect to you. Alright? And we probably need to do cards now because I'm sure Levi's going to start shooting people.
Well, I was going to ask a relevant question, which is how many people did I know were already on this ship?
You're not sure. You just know you were
No.
being boarded.
No. I mean,
crew.
before all of that,
Crew.
like,
it was you and 3 others: the captain, Arthur, and one other one, a doctor.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. Okay, the thuggish wolf, actually got second again. He got second again. So he actually, while Spencer's in his grapple, he's gonna throw Spencer under one shoulder, holding him up because he's big and huge, and draw out a metal pipe and start walking down the stairs. Let me put his token on the board. So he's actually here, and he comes out here like so, and he says, "Where's the cockpit?" And he's like holding Spencer under his arm, threatening Spencer. Spencer, talking is a free action. Are you telling him where the cockpit is?
Do I even know where the cockpit is?
Probably not. But you better be telling him something, because if you're
okay.
not, it's going to decide what he does right now.
Okay. So I am going to. Can I use psionic powers while restrained?
Right now, it's not your action, so talking is an action. Talking is a free action. So you're still just like squirming and still trying to figure out what the hell's happening. You're just like, you still don't have your wits about you. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, you're still just,
Yeah.
You're still trying to figure out what to do.
Okay. So I'm trying to hold his hand.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
sure.
Fuck. So I'm, it's the way I came.
He says, the way you came, you're lying. That's the back of the ship. And he hits you with the metal pipe. I ain't never seen a cockpit in the back of a ship. And then he hits you with a metal pipe.
Okay.
Oh God, he rolled an 8. Oh God.
Oh.
Jeez. Oh my God.
Now I'm mad.
You may be unconscious.
I might be.
It'll be easier for me to lock you in a closet then.
Oh jeez, he hit you. All right, so this is what happens. So he hits you, and then like he cracks you, and your just nose starts bleeding like profusely. He hits you in the skull, and he goes, "Oh kid, I didn't mean to hit you that bad." He goes, "Jeez." He throws the metal pipe to the ground, and then he's like, "Oh jeez, are you okay?" He goes, "Oh damn man, I'm sorry. Look, if you just told me where the cockpit was, I wouldn't have hit you."
Like, I don't know where the fucking cockpit is. You dumb son of a
At this
bitch.
point, he's put you down because he felt so terrible about hitting you that hard.
Okay. That's it. All right, I'm looking at the combat tracker. So
All
that's
right, Levi. What do you do, Levi?
What kind of rifle was the captain's rifle? What kind of rifle was the captain's rifle?
Combat rifle.
Okay, cool.
Under my Claim the Stars library.
Yeah, I got it. So let's just. I'm assuming that I could tell that the voice of this whoever is not on my crew. So I'm just gonna step out and like shoot him.
All right. You see, there's like this 14-year-old on the ground. He's bleeding out of his nose. All right.
I would like to say something to the effect, keep your lovers' quarrel to yourselves, boys. Pow, pow, pow. I don't know. I was trying to come up with something witty.
Yeah. It just came out dirty. All right.
Exactly.
Shot a teenager in the back. Perfect.
No, I'm not shooting the teenager. I'm shooting.
Yeah. It already went YouTube not friendly.
Until I botch. Yes.
All right.
Until you botch it.
Right. I have to actually roll something. I'm sorry. Where'd it go? Traits. Hang on. Nah, just shoot. Whatever. Yeah.
All right. That is a hit on him.
Cool. I have too many windows open. Where'd the thing go? Come back, combat rifle. Oh. Okay.
Full point blank range with a combat rifle. Nice.
There it is. Okay. So then damage.
Oh shit.
Jeez.
It's a combat rifle.
Nice. So yeah. Very badass. Okay, so this is a kill shot? Like, do you aim for kill?
I would aim for center mass.
Nice.
Like,
Okay. So he's got the kid on the ground, and he's put the lead pipe down. He's like, "I'm sorry, kid. If I would have hit you in the face if you told me the cockpit was." And just like you just aim for 2 in the chest and 1 in the head. You know, the common drag technique for a combat rifle. No, actually, you were just using single shot, right? So
yeah.
just 1 just square in the chest, and he just drops from his knees to the ground, and just massive blood out the back, and just paints the deck red, and flat on his back. He's down. All right.
Who the hell are you? And then move on.
So there's 2 piles of blood, 1 from his nose and 1 from the guy's back. All right.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to ask the kid.
Spencer is
like, as
stunned
the free
at this
action
moment.
to say, "Who the hell are you?"
Spencer is stunned on the ground, trying to catch his broken nose.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting there like rolling.
Spencer, you're still shaking, still confused as to what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like sitting there like grabbing my face, bleeding all over the place. Okay.
Okay, you kind of get your wits about you now. You're good.
I'm like, man, like I'm just holding myself like I'm not with him, man. I don't know who the fuck these guys are. Like, I just needed a ride. And, I'm sorry. Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
Is this a closet behind me? How do I click the thing? Pointer. That. Like this thing? Or or this other room?
Left
Basically,
and
I
right
just want to
mountain,
be like, here's a room where you can't do shit if I stuff you in this room.
Yeah.
And say, like, whenever it's my turn again, and be like, get in there and stay out of the way and keep yourself safe, kind of thing. Is what I want to tell Spencer.
Dude, I don't care. I'll go hide in any room as long as people don't hit me in the face with a pipe. I don't give a shit. So.
Nice. Okay.
Dude, I don't even, if he opens a door, I don't even care what room it is. I just go in there and hide and fucking stuff a sock in my nose or something.
All right. So the door slides open, and you're immediately greeted by a doctor's body, a female doctor, but her head has been bludgeoned in by a metal pipe, it looks like. And she's slumped over against the wall.
Makes me glad I just shot the guy.
I'm just like...
What is your reaction? You know what? Make a fear roll. Make a spirit roll.
What, a spirit roll?
Yeah. You're 14.
Why did they kill the one person I needed? Okay.
Yeah, I totally don't have any of that.
Yeah, you feel reaction shock at like the door slides open and there's like a horrific scene.
Okay, so that's the
hit
one
the
room
body.
I don't want to go in.
Yeah, the one door he says to go in is where the guy had stuffed the body.
Yeah, so it's funny. So like the door opens and I just like run like this, and then I look and I'm like, oh fuck. And I just like run out holding my nose.
And Levi, you look over there and you see your former doctor, Rebecca Langston. Her skull has been bludgeoned in. You're imagining by a lead pipe.
Oh, um, um, crap. Sorry. So, quick decision. I'll point at the next door over that I don't like, whatever, and say, "Get in there!" And then I'm gonna like yell down, try to yell down the hallway that I think the guy came from. Something about now there's hell to pay.
All right.
Is a more manly yell than that, but
All right.
Oh, okay. Terrifying.
All right. So you run down the hallway, and you're all the way down to the passenger deck, where your crew quarters and stuff are, and there's no one down there, and you imagine that you decide to head down to. Once you head down to the passenger quarters, and you realize relatively quickly that you don't think they came in through that way, and so
yeah.
you then it comes to you that maybe they came in through the landing shuttle entrances maybe,
Yeah.
and so you kind of check one of those passageways, and then you find one of the you find the body of one of the wolves, and it looks like maybe in one of the when the torpedoes hit, it looks like he may have hurt his head as the ships wrecked and slammed against each other. He might have hit his head against the wall or something, and his body is just tumbling through the air. Because remember, the false gravity's off. So,
Yeah.
and you all have your mag boots on. So,
What kind of a person am I?
so it's just kind of like this person just
I
kind of
know.
floating in the
I'm
hall.
trying to decide if he fell on a bullet or if I should try to like tie him up or something.
Yeah, he could still be alive. Yeah. And it's a good time to mention, actually. You're wondering why these wolves came out after you, and then you hear a familiar voice come behind you, and it's a good time to actually jump in with your secondary mission. I wanted to present you guys with, and so I wanted to kind of give you guys an opportunity at a secondary mission. So I was going to jump into the main mission after this immediate in media res kind of story. But so the main mission was to get to the TACUS system, which I'll get into why later. But the secondary idea I thought you guys might enjoy is that you guys could carry a passenger on the way there, and I had the idea of giving you the option of 2 passengers. And I was going to let you guys choose one of 2 passengers. And all you had to do was pick one of them up in the ILR system. And I was going to let you choose the passenger. And the 2 passenger options are, one, a man by the name of Wesley Barnes, and he's a handler of a lizard creature who he keeps in a kennel, and he needs to deliver the lizard to a lab researcher on TACUS 3, which is your destination anyways. And this lizard creature is called a whitetail sprinter. Or a woman named Rosa Salik. And if you want to know any more about information about these two, we can have a flashback scene. You guys, back to the place where you hired them, and the guys can question them further. I just thought it'd be a fun way for you guys to make some more potential money. So.
Well, I mean, I would like to know more about Rosa.
Sure.
I mean, is she just some lady we picked up?
Sure. So, so we'll say that you met with Rosa on Ilar 4, and we'll kind of like flash back to a scene where you met her in an establishment, at a public establishment, like at a restaurant or something like that, or like a pub. It was definitely not a nice place. And maybe this is where Spencer was like sneaking onto your ship while you guys were meeting her, you know. and and Rosa was she's very well dressed and dark skinned, dark hair, dark eyes. And she has like these black tattoos on her face. Not very many, but they're kind of ornamental looking. And she seems to not want to say much about herself and who she is. But she's willing to pay quite well for taking her to Takis 3. All right, she wants to be reunited with her family, is what she says. And so you guys will go up from a wealth dive D6 immediately to a wealth dive D8. Upon delivering her there, you'll go up to a wealth dive D10. But no questions asked more about who she is.
Well, she's got my vote.
Sounds good. Good enough.
So, lizard guy, or
And Arthur does
Or-
like the whole lizard guy thing.
lizard guy will pay you to go up from wealth die D8 to D8 upon delivery, or D10.
Arthur really has some equipment he wants to buy.
Yeah, that's how. And that's actually something we should discuss, is like how we're gonna pay for the ship payments. Now that I was already discussing how we're gonna do it with her, with Robin now that she's gone, but we'll have to discuss who's the ship is gonna belong to now that the captain's gone. But anyways, so D8 to D10. So y'all picking Rosa Salik?
I mean, I guess
I
we
like
could talk to the scientist guy too. But
Yeah. Hey, he just needs the lizard delivered in pristine condition to the lab researcher on Takis 3.
let's go with Rosa.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So jump back to the mission at hand, and you feel a tap on your shoulder, Levi, and you see frightened behind you is Rosa Salik, and she points at the man just floating in the hall, just up ahead of you. It says, "What's happening on the ship?"
Been boarded. What are you
And then
doing out here?
she draws out a pistol. Says,
Okay.
"Are there more?"
I haven't found more yet. Let's deal with this guy. And
I'll check the
Tell
shuttle
her-
bay.
what now?
Came from the shuttle bay, right?
Yes, I think so.
Then she walks past him to go look in the shuttle bay.
I want to I don't think I would have handcuffs or rope. Something. What the hell do I do with boarders that I don't want to shoot? I want to do that. Whatever it is I do with
All right.
boarders,
I guess
I'm not going to
zip
shoot.
ties,
I'm going
I
to do
guess.
that.
Yeah, zip ties if you don't have cuffs.
There we go.
Yeah.
Zip ties.
All right. 10-4. All right. Keep forgetting breaks. We need to take breaks in this game. Jeez. All right. We'll take a break at the top of 10 o'clock. All right. So. Okay. So. Okay. So. All right. So you've zip tied this one, the unconscious one, floating around, and
Yep.
all right. Okay. And now you've got everyone. You've got the other two that are. What about the one cargo hold? Screaming back in the cargo hold.
Oh, I don't know anything about that one yet. I didn't pay attention to that one.
Well, this brings up what I was thinking Arthur might be doing
Yeah.
while this is all going down. Is
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah.
depending on what systems are down. I think he was going to try to bring up the various camera feeds and see if he could help Levi by finding the enemy and being able to tell him where to target and what to
Yeah.
expect and whatnot.
Yes, good point. Okay.
Who all is still there?
Okay. Well, then maybe Arthur would chime in at this point and convey that there is. It seems to be no more wolves on the ship, except for the one in the cargo hold. But the pirates the wolves outside are definitely still a threat. Because they still have weapons operational. So,
I'm going to ask, Arthur. So,
and they have point defense weapons. So, which is obvious because they just shot your cockpit out.
well, I'm assuming I don't know that yet. And so I'm saying, hey, has Captain got our systems ready? Are we able to get moving or what?
And Arthur is going to say, "Well, the cabin windows were blown out, and Captain got sucked out. The armor is closed right now, but we've got to do something about the ship outside, or we're going to join him. I'm going to join him. Captain's dead. He's gone."
There's a pause. Captain's gone and no cockpit. And there's a guy screaming in the car.
Well, you still have a cockpit.
Well, I mean,
you're flying by cameras, but yeah.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Like the window blew out, but now that it's a solid shield.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have shutters.
Yes.
Yeah. You're flying by cameras. Yeah.
Does the ship have any sort of defensive capabilities?
Yes. Yeah, it has weapons.
Ones that could be targeted at the other ship, or at
you can try to open fire. Sure.
At the whatever's connected, the grapple.
The cables.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Is there any way you could? Okay.
There's only one still connected to your ship. The rest of them are just kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
Arthur would want to get rid of that first before potentially knocking the other ship away.
Yeah. Okay. So Arthur wants to try to use tries to use shooting to try to shoot the cable free.
Sure.
All right. Okay. All right. So roll shooting to
Does it
operate
matter that he's
the
using like a targeting computer or anything?
Technically that telemetry center provides a +2 to electronics rolls and notice rolls, not shooting rolls. So
Okay.
so no.
So Arthur's gonna inform Levi. I'm gonna
I
try to shoot.
might consider raising that, but I won't do it right now offhand. So,
I'm
but
gonna try to shoot the grapple off the cable
so
with the ship's guns.
hey,
Oh,
let's
oh.
think about D4.
Good gosh.
Sometimes that
Wow.
D4 aces. So, okay, all right. So that is definitely high enough. I'll say to shoot the cable. You won't have to roll damage against the cable. All right. So I'm imagining y'all's point defense is just machine guns because you'll have to upgrade to get point defense lasers. So it's just like, and it's just firing like this machine gun at this cable system, and it just starts ripping it to shreds. And now you have like 4 cables just floating in just dead space, and now your ships are no longer connected. But now at this point, if you told the Takis defense guys to fire on their ship, it would blow your ship away from theirs.
Yes, but we would potentially take damage.
Yes.
Would
But you don't have
firing on their
propulsion. You
ship
don't have
with-
propulsion. So
Well, I was gonna say if we
saying.
fire on their ship with the machine gun we have, would that?
it would take a
Push us
long
away at
fucking
all?
time. But yeah.
Arthur's gonna look into
It'd be like-
potentially getting the engines online.
Hold on. Just for effect. That's how long it would take. All right. Okay. So I just thought I'd hold that one for you. All right. All right. Okay. No, all joking aside. Sorry. All right. I'm done with the bit. All right. But anyways.
Okay. Well, after that, then he's
No.
going to
Well, you know that down in the bottom of the ship,
Mhm.
down there by the engine controls, down there by the passenger deck, you see that computer system?
Okay. That's
That is where the engine. That's kind of like where Scotty does his thing in
Okay.
Star Trek.
the engine.
you know.
engineer. Okay.
Yeah. So, if there's anywhere where like the master control for the engineering, that would be the place to fix anything with
The
engines.
blue thing.
So down there by the passenger deck in that room.
So that's where
Yeah.
Yeah.
where he's gonna head then.
All right. So you're okay. So all right. So you can get there by just walking, or you can make an athletics roll and run there and get there faster. Which one are you gonna do?
He is going to try to run.
All right. Make an athletics roll.
Athletics. He does not have athletics.
All right. Okay. So yeah, he's he tries, but he gets there and no, he doesn't make it really there much faster than he would if he'd just walked because he has to stop a couple times and but anyways, so what about Levi and Spencer? What are they doing while he's taking control, while he's trying to fix the ship and get everything operational? All the while, you guys can feel the armor on the ship taking fire from what appears to be the point defense weapons of the wolf.
I want to. Oh,
Wolves.
go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, so if there's escape pods doing that, but
There are no escape pods in the Griffin.
but I would definitely be like trying to get to the rear of the ship to see if there's some sort of ship that we could take out of here, like a smaller vessel.
There's a landing shuttle for sure.
Yeah, that's right. The landing shuttle. That's what I was thinking of. So, yeah. So I'm like holding my nose, like shuffling down the hallway.
All right. Okay.
After,
So we can
what I
actually
do
put the
is,
pieces on the
like,
board then. So we'll see that Levi is down here with Barosa, and Spencer is he's just wandering around the deck looking for the landing shuttle, basically.
mhm,
Okay. All right. We'll say that do you have an electronic skill?
I do.
Okay, we'll say that you go over to a door control and you pull up one of the computers by one of the door controls and probably use the electronic skill, which you get a +2 for because of the ship's telemetry center. Gives the whole ship +2 bonus because it's an advanced ship. It's got an advanced computer system.
Okay.
You get a +2 bonus to this.
Which counteracts my.
Basically means it's got a user-friendly OS for operating the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're typing away and you figure out, oh, there's a landing shuttle bay. It's down this hallway. And you guys are like, shit, the little kid's about to steal our landing shuttle.
Nice. So, yeah, I'm just gonna get.
All right, so
Gets me.
Levi, you hear the swoosh of the doors behind you. And you look behind you and you don't see the doors behind you swoosh, but you see through the little window as the doors on the other side swoosh open, you see Spencer running down the hall towards the other landing shuttle bay. All right. And you, Arthur, are heading towards the engineering room. All right. And Arthur, you get to the engineering room and are doing your thing. All right. So Arthur, you want to try to do basically a repair roll
Yes.
to try to see if there's something. I'm trying to decide if it's probably something repair related since it took damage as opposed to computers or electronics. So I'm gonna say repair is the skill to use. Since this is session 1, I'll say that no penalties. So
Okay.
hey, all right. You have your toolkit with you?
Yes.
Okay, good deal. Ooh, I thought I was gonna have to apply mine too. Okay, all right, good deal. All right. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna take you some time to do it though. So you're still fiddling with it, and it's taking you some time to do it. So during that time though, Spencer gets to the shuttle bay, and Spencer, the doors slide open, and you see a shuttle that's pristine condition, locked into clamps. As the door swishes open. Levi, what are you doing there? You've got this guy zip tied in the hallway. Rosa's with you. What do you do?
Is this a computer system that I can talk to it, or do I have to like
Sure.
push buttons?
If you want to say it is, sure.
Is there a way to? I want to tell the computer to lock down the shuttle.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right.
Intruders
so,
on board. Please lock down the shuttle.
So
Computer.
you say, I'm assuming that the captain hasn't named the computer, the AI core. We'll call it the AI core. So he just calls it Griffin. So what is the command?
The Griffin. We've been boarded. I need you to lock down the shuttle and don't let anybody leave with it.
Does it have a male or female voice? The computer. When it responds to commands.
I think it's got like the kind of that asexual, like somewhere in the middle.
Please don't make me do that the entire. Somebody can do that. The
Oh,
entire.
well, then it's got a high pitched,
No.
whiny, like kind of figure from the Muppets. Then
Never mind. Then I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Thanks for ruin this. All right.
I think it should have an English butler voice.
It responds with, "Sure thing, boss."
Sounds like a redneck.
When you don't take it
That's
seriously,
definitely
that's
my
what you
setting.
get.
That's
You
how it
don't take
talks to
it
me.
seriously, that's what you get. All right. No, I'm just playing. It says landing. It says the landing shuttle clamps have been locked down.
Shit.
All right. So Spencer, you get to the shuttle.
Okay.
All right. What do you do? I'm
So
assuming
I
you
see-
go up to the
did I
controls
see-
and you get to the controls and you can get in the shuttle.
Okay. So I get in.
You get in and you start to crank everything up. And when you get to the point to where you're going to release the docking clamps, says they won't release.
Fuck. I look and see if
It says Griffin.
didn't
It
pull
says
up the
Griffin,
parking
a
brake
master
or-
control override.
Fuck. Shit. Okay. Can I hack it?
Not from the landing shuttle. You can't.
Okay. Okay. I'd have to find like a computer.
Yeah.
Okay. So I look around. Is there any like computer terminals?
There looks like there's one off right here. Sure.
Okay.
Whatever that is there.
I don't think I have the map anymore. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
There you go.
Okay. So I'm gonna go over there.
Okay. All right. Looks like it's got diagnostic readouts and stuff for the landing shuttle and all that kind of thing with that.
Okay. So I'm just gonna like fiddle around with it and see if I can find something that just whatever I have to do to hack it. Maybe
Okay.
like, docking clamps or parking or any of that kind of stuff.
All right. Okay. All right. Make a hacking roll. I will say it's at a. We'll say it's an advanced ship, so I'll say -2.
Jesus, I already have an egg too for hitting the head. Oh, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, not gonna happen.
And Benny's.
Okay. So
Benny's gonna use Benny's on this.
well, yeah, you know what? I mean, if we're getting shot at, I probably would. So I'm gonna use a bet. Okay.
It's funny,
Before you
like
do that,
I thought you
can
guys
I-
would be on the planet by now.
Oh no, we can totally screw this
Hey,
up.
oh no!
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Still failed. I'm taking I have way too many minuses for this.
Hey, I would like to, if I'm allowed, ask the computer to send me a message to the Arthur and to the pod pay doors, Hal. Basically and say, hey Arthur, there's a scared kid with a bloody nose on the ship. Somebody's trying to take the shuttle, I think. Why don't you look into that or something? Also,
He's trying to fix the ship right now.
Yeah.
I know. But
Okay.
also, if you're listening to me, whoever's in the shuttle, like, we're getting shot at. This ship has better armor than the shuttle. You probably don't want to go outside where there are more bullets. Whether that's true or not, I don't know exactly, but that's my play to try and keep the ship, the shuttle in the ship.
Trying to keep
Are
the
we
party
shooting
together.
back?
No.
Does your character actually say that? Because Arthur's like,
Yeah.
no, everything's down. I'm trying to get the engine started so we can get out of here.
Fuck. Let me see something. I am going to go.
All the while, you hear like the point defense weapons like firing on the shuttle bay as it like the ship just happens to rotate and turn as that side of the ship just starts taking a barrage of fire. All right, back to Arthur. Arthur, you're just desperately making the repairs. You've made the last bit of repairs. You switch the power back on because lockout tagout is important. And and
Don't turn this into a safety brief.
I'm just kidding. And everything is kosher. You believe, you're pretty sure everything is kosher. And then you switch the power back on, and the engines are good to go. You think
Okay. Is there?
you can power them up to 100% from here,
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
but you don't know which way the ship is facing at this point. But you can put them into 100%.
Well, is there a computer terminal here that he could use?
Like, as in, like, can you look at the cameras where the ship is facing from here?
Yeah, I
That'd
mean,
be too
see
easy.
navigation.
No, that'd be too easy.
Okay. Arthur is going to put it at...
We wouldn't have a cockpit if that could happen. That wouldn't be fun.
I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Arthur's going to put it at like 10% and then sprint.
Just see if you hit anything. Yeah, nice. All right.
If we hit something, hopefully it won't be too hard.
Nice.
But at least we're moving.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. So you hit up to 10%, and like you feel something scraping after about 10 seconds on the left hand side, but like it starts to give way. So you think you bumped into the pirate ship? The Wolves vessel, but then they may have pulled out of the way, and then it kind of gave out of the way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you felt the ship screeching and bumping up against each other, and now there's no more resistance. What do you do?
Yeah, I guess Arthur's going to, not 100%, but he's going to put it at like 50%.
50%? Okay. All right. Okay. So what do you guys do when you feel that bumping, and then you feel all the drives go to 50? What do you guys do, Spencer and Levi?
Do we have inertial dampeners, by the way?
I assume that whoever's hitting the gas is under control of the ship innately and would like to continue down to the cargo hold to deal with the last intruder.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. What about Spencer? What do you do?
Yeah.
Just thank God we're moving.
Okay. All right.
Just sitting there, I'm just like, thank God.
All right.
And
So if one of you guys said you were bracing, then I would have given you a +2, but you didn't. All right. All right. So
I just fall on the ground.
All right. So when he hits 50%, I want both of you to make athletics rolls. Because when he hits 50%, he collides with something else.
Oh.
Does Arthur need to roll too?
Yes.
You said athletics? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now those of you who failed, make a Vega roll.
Yep, that's...
So many dice.
Like, thank God, a success finally.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, you made it a success. Good job. All right, so none of you suffered fatigue from getting thrown to the ground, because you do hit something, but whatever you hit immediately got pushed out of your way, and you feel free and clear. What do you do?
Arthur is running for the cockpit. The bridge.
Okay. All right, good deal. All the while, you feel the wolves are still firing upon you. but it feels like the gunfire is. Well, you couldn't tell that actually. So you're running from the cockpit. Levi's running for the cargo hold. Spencer, what is he doing?
Now that we're moving, I'm gonna head back towards what I think is the medical bay. Even though there's a dead body in there, I'm just like, I'm trying to do something with these wounds. Like, even if it's just Tylenol and some bandages.
Okay.
Probably still bleeding everywhere.
All right. Well, the good thing for you, the dead body is not in the medical bay. It's in the closet.
Oh,
He told you to hide in. So, all right.
Yep. So I'm like, they have a doctor, so they probably have medical supplies.
There's
somewhere.
medical supplies. Unfortunately, the doctor who used them is dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, back to the cockpit and medical bay. We got everybody back in place where they need to be, and I'll move the camera so people can see where everybody is. And yeah, okay. Now, you're in the medical bay. I'm assuming you're going to try to make a healing check on yourself, Spencer, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. You're unfortunately going to take the penalties from being wounded when you do it. But go ahead and make your healing roll.
Okay. And that is going to be untrained.
You're trained in healing?
What was that?
You're trained in healing?
No, untrained.
Oh, okay. This is going to go badly.
Yeah, and you said it's -2.
Well, you're going to take your own wound penalties. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm already wounded, so I don't need to add it. Okay. And then it's unskilled. So yeah, this is going to totally suck. I'm going to have to use like a shit ton of bennies. Fuck. Benny. Yeah. Do any of you guys have healing?
Nope.
All right, so
Through
Arthur.
science. Arthur will be watching the navigation. As soon as we are at a reasonable distance, he's going to contact, I want to say,
Takis Defense Force?
Takis Defense Force.
Yes.
And let them know, okay, we're clear. Fire on the wolf ship.
All right. We're opening fire now. Brace yourselves.
Arthur puts on over the comms, brace yourselves.
All right. And, yeah, so a torpedo hits the wolves and finishes them off. And, of course, you feel the concussion force. But, of course, you have propulsion now, and your ship is okay. So, and you're moving away from the blast. So, of course, there's debris flying all around you guys. And your ship takes some damage from the debris of the other vessel. But it's minimal because you've made enough distance from you and them. And, all right, so you're free and clear. But now back to Levi, who's down at the bottom of the deck. You get down, you open the hatch down the ladder, and you immediately hear. You first hear the cries of agony, right? And then once the latch opens, they quiet as they realize someone's here.
Yeah.
And and you start coming into the cargo hold, and you see that there's all the netting has fallen down, and there's crates all over the all over the cargo hold. You believe there's someone inside all these crates, buried underneath, wounded.
How long does it take us to? Would it normally take us to get to? Wait, no. We could just dock. Can we dock with the Tagus defense people? Like, what would the standard thing be here? Be like
to do what?
So
to deliver the wolves?
Well, yeah.
Just dock with the Tackets Defense Force, and they'll handle it.
Okay. They're probably, and that's the Tagus people are probably going to want to do that, right?
Yeah, they'd prefer to handle these criminals.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not your job. I mean, after all, they're criminals.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to yell, like, I don't even necessarily need to go in to the cargo. I'm just going to yell, like, okay, your buddies are dead or tied up and unconscious, and the cops are coming over shortly. So just stay calm and I don't have to shoot you, okay? I'm staying over here. You just stay over there. And I just want to, like, be prepared for if he does something or he or she does something ridiculous and prevent them from doing anything ridiculous, kind of thing.
He says, I don't suppose I could pay you to drop me off at Takis 3 instead of give me over to the defense force, could I?
We might be able to talk. Might have been able to talk before our doctor was beaten to death. So unless you happen to be a doctor or a gazillionaire, I'm not terribly inclined.
Well, I'm not as rich as she is.
Oh, you mean, of course, the paying customer? Sure, of course not. Call up to Arthur. Hey, Arthur,
Yes.
is are the cops coming over? What's the ETA for them to pick up these bodies?
Arthur will check in with the Takis Defense Force. Takis Defense.
They say, we'll be over there momentarily.
And
Give
Arthur
us
relays
10
that,
minutes.
Arthur relays that to Levi.
Cool. I'll whatever Arthur says, I'll let dude know. I don't know.
All right.
This is just sort of a wait and see what happens as far as I'm concerned. I'm not trying
I
to
love
do
it how,
anything
like,
particular.
Levi does not give a shit about, like, the money has already been given. He does not give a shit. All right. Okay.
There's
Okay.
very much that line. I will try not to quote Serenity every time, but, like, I do a job, I get paid, I come back and do another job, and then I get paid again. This is how this works.
Nice.
I got paid. We're doing a
Okay.
job.
All right. Okay. All right. So, all right. So they pick them up. They get the wolves out of there. And then what do we see? So let's skip ahead to a scene where the ship is just floating in space at this moment, and you two guys are in. We'll say. Actually, we'll skip ahead to the room at the conference room. We use the conference room.
Oh, we have a conference room?
Yeah, you have what's like a dinner table, but it's like a conference room to me. And we'll skip ahead to
right.
the
They have
conference room.
so many meetings in
And-
there.
And you two are in there with Spencer. Because you guys
Still
are like,
bleeding.
what the fuck? You know? You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Because y'all
So
haven't
I-
had that conversation yet. And he's
What was that?
probably got bandages on himself because he's tried to heal himself. and it's still.
Oh yeah, if you
his
guys go in the
nose
medical
is
bay, there's like gauze wrappers,
his
just
nose is
band-aids all over
bleeding,
my
and
face.
and it's just
It's a mess.
yeah.
Huge mess.
We got to teach you how to shave, man, boy.
I'm using things that aren't even of like
You have
wound
tampons
care.
shoved up your nose.
Actually, the ship doesn't even
Yeah.
have to be sitting still. The ship can be put like on. Maybe you guys can point it in the right direction and tell the AI core to like continue towards Takis 3 if you want to
Yeah.
do that. Just if y'all want to do that. All right. It will take we'll say it'll take 12 days to get to Takis 3 from here. So you'll have to stop and get fuel along the way. So
Are there like fuel depots located throughout
it'll be a station.
systems? Okay.
Yeah, it'll be like another station. Probably in one of the outer belts, you know?
Okay.
But no, that's seriously the first thing I say to you when we get into the room, all three of us, is you got to learn how to shave.
They're like little tiny hairs. I'm just like, man, I haven't had a bath in like a week. Just like, it's not the time.
That's
So,
what you're leading with. You're not gonna like explain why the hell you're on them.
Okay, so real quick with Shaun, real quick. So Spencer, you got on the ship in the ILAR system, which was the last system they were in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They just came through the jump cannon 1 day ago. From into Takis system. Okay. Now, so you've been on. You just jumped on in the last system. Okay.
Okay.
You were leaving the ILAR system because that's where you came from. Is the ILAR system that's where you were born and raised. So you just now running from the what was it called? The Tanu Clava. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I just want to give you a little background. Continue on with your story. All right.
Okay. So you asked what I was doing on the ship.
Yes.
You're like, look, man, I'm sorry. I just like I needed to get out of ILAR. I don't have any money for like a ticket anywhere. I didn't think you guys would mind because you're all in like helping people. You know, I was just hanging out with your gear back there, man. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna look at Arthur.
Just a kid. I mean, are you running from something, Spencer? Oh, have you shared your name with us yet?
No.
My name's Arthur, by the way. What's your name? And who are you running from? Are you running from
Like
something?
it's Spencer. I'm like, I'm not. I'm like, I just, I just wanted to get away from my parents. Come on, man. My dad's a dick.
Everybody's dad's a dick. What are you really doing here?
Can I make a persuasion?
I can, but I can't make the players. I can't
No,
make
I
the
know.
players follow it. But you can make a persuasion
I'm
roll, and
just
they
gonna-
can agree to uphold it. So,
Okay.
yeah. I just want to remind you guys of some circumstances of what y'all do. So, you currently subcontracted out to an organization called Astra Unum, who are a nonprofit organization who do good things all around the sector. Your current objective is to go to the TACUS system to deliver some supplies. I'll go into more details after this current role playing moment is over because it's very complicated and I don't want to ruin this moment. But all right, continue on.
So I'm just like, okay, look, if I tell you, you gotta like just promise you won't say anything.
I promise we won't turn the ship around and go drop you off at your dad's.
Like, God, you guys couldn't stop me anyway. I'm like,
What?
I'm just like, I've got like an ice pack on my head now. I'm like, okay, look, I'm running away from, what's it called?
You don't have to tell us what you're running away from. If
Okay.
I don't care.
There's some guys that, yeah, they probably would like for me to not. I turned in some bad guys and now they're in jail. And if they find out it was me, I'm just totally screwed.
I'm going to lean in and look a little closer at your face. Your first one was better.
My
I'm going
dad,
to show you where the mop is.
what was that?
I'm going to show you where the mop is. You got to clean some stuff up. And
I don't care. As long as you don't hit me in the head with a bat.
Maybe we could get him fixed up first. Too bad our doctor's dead, though. Maybe between the two of us, we can get him to not be bleeding everywhere.
he's done a fine job. He's not bleeding anymore, is he?
I'm bleeding everywhere.
It doesn't look like he did a very good job.
He's not gonna die. We'll say that. He'll live.
Okay.
I mean, he's all dressed up for a mummy. It's Halloween already. I don't know what else we can do for him.
Like, man, you have any idea how hard it is to put a bandage on the back of your head yourself?
What's worse is Levi watched it all happen.
Like, can I just lay down?
We've got 12 days of travel, so we can work this out.
Yeah, dude, I'll mop tomorrow.
Yes, let's get you fixed up, and then you can tell us the truth at some point. Or we could,
Okay.
contact CPS and put you in a nice foster home.
Fuck. No.
A foster home, nice.
Look, you've got 12 days.
No, they're not going
work
to
this out.
put me in a foster home, man. My dad's alive. They're just going to send me home.
Well, if he's a bad dude like you say.
I'm not going home. So
That's right. We're going to ITAR 7, whatever it was.
TACUS 3.
ACUS 3. Sorry.
Perfect. I'm sure there's plenty of shit there I can mop too.
Maybe you can
Can
come
you
up
cook?
with a future plan.
I don't. Sure.
But cooking is not a skill, so you can say your character is good at cooking. Sure.
I have boiled noodles.
I'm guessing we don't have replicators.
I'm betting
No.
we have like the freeze-dried pucks. You throw it in the rehydrator and it pops out like it Back to the Future or something.
Yeah.
No, actually, this whole mission is about what people eat in this world, actually.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, the entire one of the big plot points is actually what people eat in this world. So, but all right. So So you get 12 days of travel because what's funny is actually you rolled the highest you could roll on that die, which means that this basically when you came to the Takis system that Takis 3 was as far as it could be from you guys on it in its rotation. So that's why the travel is taking so long. So you'll get 2 natural healing rolls, Shaun.
Okay.
And unfortunately, your golden hour has passed on healing
Yeah.
roll attempts. So you'll have to just rely on your natural healing. So,
Just a bigger roll.
yep. So you'll get 2 vigor rolls. So why don't you make a don't get any critical failures because you can increase your wound levels.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Folks,
Would-
my vigor is just shit hot.
Would Arthur be able to use any? I guess he doesn't need to. I was gonna ask if Arthur could use any of his like science
Oh, you'll get a-
knowledge to help,
No, not really.
but he made it.
Nope.
So I made 1 vigor roll.
Okay, great. So you go up to -1 now.
Okay.
All right, so that's 1. All right, now you get your second attempt at day 10, which will be the day you guys pull into a station. Okay, unfortunately you failed that one, but you do have some bennies left if you
Okay.
want to choose to try.
I'll
Reroll
use
one.
1 Benny. I'll use 1 Benny.
All right.
I think I can pull this off.
Okay. There you go. All right.
Alrighty.
Good deal. 10
Awesome.
days.
Always feel like shit, but no negatives. Nice.
All right.
And
Good deal.
I probably need different clothes too, because I probably have blood all over those, or at least have to clean them.
Yeah. Well, when you go into station, you can get some more clothes. All right.
Okay.
I'll say clothes are cheap enough. You don't even have to make wealth trait rolls. All right. So,
Okay.
okay. So you get more clothes, and now, so you're sorted out, and that's on the 10th day because you guys picked the on the station. You picked the Griffin Explorer, which has fuel of 12. You guys actually can wait to fuel up on Takis 3 if y'all want to. I thought it was
Roll
10
in on
fuel
fumes.
10, so you can roll in on fumes.
What's the
Or you
state
guys
of our
can find a
ship?
station.
I
It's
mean,
damaged. It's damaged. It will need repairs.
Right.
You'll want repairs. So
Right. I mean,
I'm trying not
how
to
much-
throw ship combat on y'all in the first couple of sessions. That's why I'm keeping ship combat more story focused as opposed to like when you in the deep end. We'll introduce like full on ship combat rules, like maybe a few sessions down the line. But we'll say it's damaged at this point, and maybe you'll just you probably just want to see if you get to Takis 3, given that you have supplies from Astra Unum, officially for the people, the government of Takis system, they might be willing to just repair your ship for you. So, all right. So, and now I will get into your mission in detail. Okay, so if any of you are interested in keeping notes on the actual story here, because the notes tab on the right hand side, it is a good time to do that because this is where the games are going to get complicated. Okay.
Who's taking notes?
I am.
Okay. All right. So at this point in the story, you guys came from Ilar, but Takis 3, Takis system is actually was actually previously under the control of Geneva. All right, and Geneva recently suffered from a complete coup, and completely came under new leadership by an individual named Minister Grillo 5 years ago. completely took down the entire economy, created a whole new leadership, created a whole new system of government, everything. Well, Takis was a colony of Geneva. Takis has recently declared independence from Geneva 6 months ago, not wanting to be part of Geneva at all. You guys are welcome to try to make common knowledge rolls to try to figure out why, but at this point, just let me tell you some details. Essentially, there has been 6 months of bloodshed and violence and war, and it has led to a trade embargo between both system nations. And now, Takis is basically getting bled dry. Takis needs medicine and supplies. And Astra Unum is able to get around this trade embargo because they qualify as humanitarian aid. And you guys are that humanitarian aid. Your ship is loaded down with medicines and supplies bound for Takis 3. Alright? You guys are kind of protected in that way. You shouldn't have been attacked by Geneva or Takis forces, given your qualification as a humanitarian vessel at this point. And that's what made the attack so surprising. But anyways, so now here you are in the Takis system, carrying supplies bound for Takis 3. Takis 3's biggest resource is food. Takis 3 delivers a shit ton of food for nearby systems, but that's basically all they supply for nearby systems. Takis 3 does not want to be independent. They just don't want to belong to Geneva. You're not sure the exact details behind what's happening there right now, but at this point they declared independence, and they basically getting trade embargoed by Geneva, and it's crippling their economy. All right. If you guys pay real close attention to the scenario, you might see commonalities between this scenario and real life dictatorships as the story goes on, because I kind of mirrored this off of real life people, some of these political leaders. But you'll have to pay attention to little details to spot it, probably. And it depends on what roles you make and succeed at and fail at. Or if you care about it. So you may not care about the minutia of the details. So you are welcome to just... I'm sorry?
You said we can make a common knowledge roll?
Yes, if you want to know more about exactly the details of what's happening here with Takis and or recent events with Takis. And okay, so I was actually going to... Okay, great. Okay, sweet. So actually, I was going to actually mention to you real quick, Arthur, that your PDD, your personal data device, it isn't giving its +4 unless you want it to. It's assumed that you're using your common knowledge because you're just thinking when someone responds, like when I ask for common knowledge. If you want to apply that bonus, it's like you're pulling out your PDD and hitting search. Does that make sense? I can show you how to do that. So what you do is you right-click on the common knowledge dice and click modifiers before you roll, and you should see where it says PDD, and just check mark it, and it'll apply the +4. You can always have it on. You see where common knowledge is, the dice?
I see that.
Right-click it, and you'll see all the radial menu pop up.
Modifiers?
You see the plus and the minus symbol? It's called modifiers. Yeah. Click it.
Okay.
And you see where it says PDD. You can check mark and uncheck it. I had it off by default. I mean, but you can...
Well,
The
I was just
assumption
gonna
is
drop it
that
in
it
the-
requires that you have to like pull your device out and start typing and searching. But you can have it on by default. But its the assumption is that if you're having to do it, you're pulling it out and actually typing and searching.
Yeah. I mean,
Or
it's most
you've got
likely
it
that I would.
keyed to a device and you're manually searching. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess yeah.
I just
I
wanted
would
to let you
probably
know.
have used it in this situation.
Yeah. Well, if you're using this situation, you would have gotten a 15. So just FYI, that's even
Right.
better. Okay, so I'm about to give you a primer on the entire political history of the last 5 years. Okay, so you're very knowledgeable in this particular subject. Okay, so Minister Grillo actually. Okay, wow. Okay, so maybe Arthur did a whole lot of research on this before y'all went on the mission. So Arthur knows that Minister Grillo actually used to belong to a group that used to be labeled, used to be, maybe still is, depending on who you ask, a terrorist cell called New Dawn. They were very anti-corporation, very anti-capitalist organization. They weren't religious in any way. They were just very destruction-oriented. But they really didn't have any. They never talked about putting something in place. They were just talking about destroying stuff all the time. Does that make sense? But they called themselves New Dawn. Anyways, he used to be a big leader in this group, and he basically successfully couped government. I don't know how to say that phrase, but you get the point. He had a successful coup of Geneva, and he basically just tried to wash away all. I wouldn't even be telling you this if you hadn't rolled so damn well. This is the kind of stuff you wouldn't be telling a player unless they rolled like a 15. Because you have to be like, you're like Google Foo is amazing. He's trying to wash away the history. Does that make sense? He's trying to make people forget that he has connections to this organization. To the New Dawn. And he's trying to set up basically a new government that is a dictatorship over Geneva. And Takis doesn't want to be ruled by a dictatorship. And Takis is actually claiming independence, but what they want to be done is they want to be annexed by Ilar. Where y'all just came from. They're petitioning to be annexed. Because they have the valuable resource of what are called protein farms. You know that the biggest value that Takis offers, basically this sector of space, is their vast protein farms. They are a big source of food for this sector of space. Like cheap food.
Okay.
Interesting. So, which you said there's a trade embargo with Geneva.
Yeah, between Geneva has placed a trade embargo on Takis. Basically, Takis relies on so much trade from Geneva, and basically what they've done is they basically shut off all the jump cannons to Takis for commercial vessels.
But Takis can still get to other systems? Or
Yes,
is
they
Geneva
just
a
relied
single
on so
system?
much trade from Geneva for trading partners. So,
Okay.
yeah. They're scrambling to make friends in other systems now.
Okay. Because they lost like their major market.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know any of this, considering I crit failed my common knowledge roll, so I don't even know that these exist.
You're
Yeah.
14 years old. You haven't been paying attention to any politics.
Yeah.
I have
There you go.
not.
And so we see you
As
guys
long
like
as
rolling into Takis on like fumes, fuel. Or do you guys try to stop for fuel before you get there?
I say we get some fuel. I don't think that's one of those things we want to be left without.
Yeah, I mean, better safe than sorry. I mean,
Stop
maybe we
at a
can get
station on the
some-
way, maybe in the outer belts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean,
Well,
we've got
we
time
should,
for repairs, so
and we should see if I know anybody there.
See if you know anybody
Say that-
there.
Yeah, because I've got the adventure card that is contact, and you find a friend or acquaintance who helps him in this current situation.
All right. Okay. You're hoping to maybe get fuel at a cheaper price or something, maybe, huh?
That or like, oh look, there's a mechanic buddy I know who's like, oh yeah, I wanted to go to Takis 3 anyway. I'll repair something on the inside of your ship on the way.
That's an awesome
As payment.
idea. That is an awesome idea. Well, I'll let you decide which of those two you like: cheaper fuel or repair guy.
I feel like
we'll just see. Though Arthur has 8 on repair, so he should be able to do some decent repair.
okay. Then let's do the fuel because I've got repair can help you too. So
Well, that works out good because I was going to give you huge penalties to fuel because of the trade embargo. So, so that works out perfectly. Okay, then I will say that you meet a familiar face, an individual by the name of Thomas Masterson. You used to run with him back in the day when you were in your 40s. He used to also work out in Palisadia, but thank you for the kind words. For the channel, thank you for the kind words, man. That's awesome. You about to design your own stream. Good luck on that, man. You can reach out to me on Discord. I can help you out. But anyways, your friend, he used to work on Palisadia as well, but he got out like you did. He realized the drug was kind of like it was kind of affecting him in like a negative way, like you did. Like he felt like it was holding him back, and he got out like you did. But maybe he kind of like convinced you to get out because he got out earlier than you.
yeah.
And so he kind of like and so like you saw how it affected him, and you saw how he bettered himself when he got out. Except instead of doing like you did and got out and kind of like became a soldier, he got out and became an entrepreneur. So anyways, so he gonna give you, so make a fuel, the wealth trait roll, buy fuel, but I'll make it at a +2 instead of the -1 I was gonna do that. So now the thing about wealth trait rolls, okay, so you can actually support each other on these, okay. You can make support rolls. So support rolls are not done at penalties, okay? Or at least I'm not going to make them be done at penalties. The book is really clear on that. So, but since it's a +2, you may not even feel like you need support from your friends. But it'd basically be like everybody chipping in, for the expensive purchases,
Okay.
But anyways,
What? Never mind.
yeah, are you following?
No, sorry. Like I can ask for help if I think we need it for getting
From your
fuel.
other players, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, all of you are gonna have a new skill called wealth.
Okay. Whoop.
Here, I'll put it on your sheet. There you go.
Yeah,
Wealth.
yeah.
And it'll
That's what I
be
was
at
wondering.
D8 at the moment. All right.
Oh, I understand. I'm
Yeah.
following though now. Okay. And so what am I?
And then
How
you'll
much
get
information do I have before I ask for help?
and it's
Never
just a
mind.
plus
I'll just
2
roll.
bonus to this. You'll just put a plus 2 in the modifier star. If you want to make sure you don't fail, you can get support rolls from players. Support successes give you plus 1s. That's how support rolls work in this.
Okay.
If you want to
What
make
is
sure you
the
can buy the item.
cost? Why would I
Well,
not
if you
ask
fail,
for help?
you can't afford the fuel. So
Okay. Well, but like, what's
well,
the?
if they fail, if everyone who supports you suffer the same as effects. So if you critically fail, they also go broke. So
Okay.
yeah,
Am
Yeah.
I allowed to use bennies on this roll?
yeah, it's straight roll,
Okay.
just like everything else.
Okay. Cool. So I'm just gonna roll, and
Well, there you
that's
go.
wonderful.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, worked out great. Rolled amazing. Okay. So you easily refuel the ship, and because of your friend helping you out, and everything's back up to full on the fuel, and so you guys fly on into Takis 3, and so what you guys see is a planet that's kind of got the same kind of climate kind of everywhere on it. Well, except for the poles, the most extreme poles. It is a kind of a dwarf planet, and it has a small moon kind of rotating around it, and it is. Do you guys want to do any scans on it to get any more information on it before you land, or what?
Sure. What do
Yeah.
you want us to roll?
Well, wait. The way this ship is equipped, the ship has what's called a drone bay, and it basically can release drones to get certain kinds of scans, or you can do certain scans from the ship. It just depends on what kind of scans you want to do. It can do things like thermal imaging scans and like satellite scans type things from the ship, but like to do things like atmospheric scans, which would basically be like reading like what are the air quality and like what's in the atmosphere and that kind of stuff. That would require like dropping a drone down in the atmosphere. But other than that, like if you're just like, I want to see what does the planet look like from here, that would just be like, I'm going to take a camera and look at the planet with like a telescope basically from the bottom of the ship. That'd be very possible, you know.
You said we're delivering medical supplies.
Medical supplies and machinery, basically parts,
Okay.
for the most part.
I don't know what we would want to scan for.
Yeah. And when you look down at the ship, when you look down from up here, you see it. Best way to describe it, it looks like it's covered with. Looks like it's covered with huge, like, even from the sky, from this high up, it looks like, you know how like when you're in an airplane, you can see like huge like farmers fields in an airplane.
Mm.
It looks like those, except they're black. And then occasionally you see rather large structures.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're
well,
looking
Arthur-
through the sensors, like the telescoping magnification. But yeah, that's what you see.
Well, Arthur is curious about everything, so he would go ahead and he would run the sensors, whatever there is. You don't have to give us a bunch of detail to take up time, but
Yeah.
important. I mean,
Yeah,
specifically
it
about
appears to
how
be
are they
very-
farming, what are they?
Oh, okay. Yeah. It looks like they're. It looks like it's when if you kind of just drop in there and like zoom in real close. It doesn't look like they're plants. It's hard to tell what it is, but they're definitely not plants. Um, it's like I said, it's hard to tell from up here. They're definitely not plants. If that makes any sense.
Mhm.
They appear to be pits of some kind.
Hmm.
They're like large fields of pits. Concrete pits. With what you can probably describe as electrical barriers around them.
Interesting.
And you see drones and stuff whizzing all around. There's quite a bit of pollution in the air in certain places.
Uh,
You have orders to land near the near what's called near the factory. It has a name, but it's near the factory.
we're going to take the shuttle down. I guess we have to.
You have to drop off the supplies. But yeah.
If it's in the shuttle.
No, your cargo bay's full of supplies.
Oh, okay.
So you'll have
Okay.
to.
So we have to land.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm assuming you guys land since everybody's quiet. All right. So.
Yeah. I guess
All right. so you guys land the vessel, and as far as the climate and like the landscape, it looks kind of like safari, like North African landscape. A little like kind of dry and like with the occasional tree and like tumbleweeds and that kind of stuff. But like there's a whole lot of concrete and stuff everywhere, and a whole lot of buildings. Where there isn't like huge flat lands covered with these concrete pits, and you land on this concrete slab that has like faded yellow paint and lights kind of like stabbed into the earth, blinking for you to kind of give you directions on where to land. And when the cargo bay opens up, and the way your cargo bay opens up is like the bottom section of the cargo bay, just kind of like the whole thing kind of like just like opens and lowers, kind of make it easier to unload things, and and everything kind of opens up, and it looks like a man probably in his early 30s, kind of ebony skin, kind of comes out, and he's got like what probably looks like a Tyvek suit on, and you guys immediately realize, of course, you don't need anything like a special suit on to be here. You don't need like a gas suit or anything. So you're not sure why he's wearing this. And he's got a gas mask, but it's not on his face. Or sorry, he's got a rebreather mask, but it's not on his face. It's just hanging from his coat or his Tyvek suit type thing. If anybody doesn't know what a Tyvek suit is, it's for like painting. You know, it's like one of those that you zip around your face, and you just kind of covers your whole body. And he's got gloves on, and and he's got like a breather that hangs from that's attached to the front of his body. And he kind of comes over to you, and he says, "Yeah, which one of you is the captain?"
He didn't make it.
Well, then who has the
You
manifest?
can talk
I
to
need
me.
to sign.
What you need?
Well, I need to sign your manifest, I guess. I'll help
Right.
unload everything.
I'm gonna look at Spencer and be like, okay, go get the manifest.
I don't know what a manifest is.
At that moment, you see by his breathing mask, you see a light turn red and go doo doo doo, and he rolls his eyes and he goes, ugh, and he puts the breathing mask on and goes, yeah, well, I gotta get back to work, unfortunately. So the sooner we can get this thing unloaded, the better.
What is wrong with this atmosphere?
I mean, do we smell anything
He says,
weird?
it's not anything wrong with the atmosphere. Well, there is something wrong with the atmosphere. The O2 levels are a little bit below normal for humans. If you spend more than like 4 or 5 hours out in it at any time, your O2 levels will go down a little bit low. So these are just to kind of give us a little bit extra before it starts having effects on the brain. So these are just to give us readouts to make sure we're safe. Corporate protocols and all.
Gotcha.
I mean, if you're going to be out here for an extended period of time, you might want to get a rebreather. But you should be all right as long as you don't exert yourself too much.
Good to know.
Yeah, you don't want to get plagued with headaches or start passing out or anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Tyvek suit though, that's not for the O2 though. That's for the grubs.
Yeah.
The grubs?
Yeah, the grubs. He says, I love it when new people show up to here.
Maybe we can get a tour of your facility?
Well, if you ever want to eat again, you probably want to avoid it. He smiles. So I guess Spencer comes back on the manifest?
I'll bring it out.
All right.
I don't know. Probably don't even know what I'm looking at, but sure.
Oh, he signs the
papers. I'm bringing the wrong papers.
Yeah, and he says, these are not the manifest. All right. He says, this is the wrong paperwork.
This
Arthur,
is registration.
Arthur will walk back in with Spencer and show him where the manifest is kept.
Like, oh, that manifest.
This gate key.
He's like, hey, it's understandable, man. Hey, look, he says, look, our guys will come over and help you unload it, and we'll get drones if we need backup. But look, you guys are welcome to go inside, and I think the factory guys are probably, I think you're scheduled to go in and meet them at 10 o'clock. But I think, hold on, actually, GM needs to look at something. He says, Mary Jo would probably actually love to speak to you, actually. He says, the farm just over the way. She's probably got some things, she would, love to speak to you about, actually. She said when the supplies dropped off, she'd love to see y'all when you got a chance. So, since you got a couple hours till the meeting, if you want to go see her at the farm, I'm sure she'd appreciate it. Be nice to get a nice meal, right? She cooks good, and she don't cook grubs, so.
Good to know.
I hear food, and I'm like, we should go over there.
I agree.
I'm like, we've probably been eating just like garbage on this flight for the last week.
Dehydrated food.
Yeah.
I'm up for it. Yeah.
All right, see you guys.
Our passenger, Rose?
Yeah, Rosa. Salik.
Yeah, is she has she left yet, or is she still on board? Or
She's standing at the edge of the cargo hold. She has not left the ramp yet.
Guess Arthur will walk up to her and say, "Well, we arrived safely. A few bumps."
He says, "Yes, it was not a very well. I was concerned there for a bit.
You and me both.
Yes. Well." She says, "As agreed. Here's your payment." She pulls out her her slab, which is basically just a piece of glass, and I'm sure you pull out your PDD, and she just like slides across at her fingers, and she sends over the payment to you all. So,
Thank you very much. Let us know if you need a trip anywhere else.
I'm sure I'll be fine from this point on.
Well, have a good life.
And I appreciate your discretion from here on out as well.
Got it.
All right, so all of you can raise your wealth to D10. All right. Now,
where do we put that? Just in currency?
yeah, you'll just
The
if you okay, so if you don't have it already, then I'll add one for you. So you have a new skill called wealth,
Oh, okay. Just as a
and there you go.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll add it to Shaun too. Wealth,
Nice.
and
Then D10.
you guys are like, we're rolling the money right now. You are. All right. And so, all right. But okay. So you guys are beginning on your way to Mary Joe's, and you're heading across the large flat dirt path, heading over to the farm. And there's a worker kind of in the pathway, just carrying over some crates, right? And a drone flies overhead about 50 feet in the air, and he seems to have a bucket loaded with something. And unfortunately, not over your guy's head. He kind of flies above y'all and kind of over the worker. And it appears his scoop fails or malfunctions. And the scoop just kind of dumps. And you see like all these, it looks like a black cloud of stuff just falls all over the top of this worker. And at first you're like, what is this stuff? But then quickly there are screams as these insects begin swarming all over this worker, and he starts trying to run for his life. And the insects start just swarming all around him and start voraciously trying to eat him. The rest of the workers the rest of the nearby workers, which are two of them, start pull out like these guns that look like small guns that start firing like canisters of like high density foam, and they don't appear to be trying to save him. They just appear to be trying to contain the entire area by just filling it full of so much foam to crush the insects and him. And
So when I saw that, how far away are we?
about 50 feet from you.
Oh, you mind if I try something?
Sure.
So insects feel fear, right?
Yeah, I can feel fair. Sure.
Okay. So I probably need to get close.
You're gonna try to run forward and try to use fear on him?
Yeah, when this guy's like in trouble.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. When they start to like swarm him.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So I guess I just roll psionics.
Yeah, make a silence roll. All right, okay. And They're just insects, so I'll say they just have like a D4 spirit.
Okay.
Yeah, they roll terrible. Okay, so you basically just cast fear, Sonic's fear on them, and basically just try to drive the insects away, right? Swarm away.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how does that look for you?
So I just like run forward and just stop, and then I just like put out a hand and just kind of like close my eyes real quick, so you can tell I'm doing something.
Yes. Okay, so Arthur and Levi, you see Spencer, like he reacts to the swarm of insects that falls down this guy. He's frightened, he screams. The swarm starts trying to voraciously eat at him, but Spencer runs forward and throws his arm out, and all these two guys nearby pull out these cannons to start firing the foam, but instead the insects all just like dart away, trying to flee. But the two guys with the foam cannons, like they're confused for a moment, but instead they both chase the insect swarm with the foam cannons, and they start spraying the foam cannons at the insect swarm. And the one worker is there on the ground now. He's like grabbing at his leg because he did get wounded some, and he's still looking around. He's like really confused as to what the hell just happened. So, how do you guys react to this?
Well, I think Arthur isn't sure exactly what just happened. Some bugs, it seemed, fell on the guy, and then they ran away after Spencer kind of ran up. But it's like, did Spencer do something?
Spencer did something though. He ran up and went. No.
But that's all he did. So it's like there's something suspicious there, but not sure what.
Yeah. Well,
there's something wrong with your
in this
head.
world, y'all do know Sonics is a thing, though. So
okay, so
yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
Is there something wrong, Spencer? Are you all right? Is your hand okay? What the hell are you doing, boy?
Yeah. I wanted to warn that guy, but it looks like it got taken care of. So, God, that was scary, huh, guys?
Yes. Very fortunate they just ran away.
Well, those guys pulled out guns.
That guy, the guy on the ground who's grabbing at his leg and says, "What happened? I thought I was dead."
Do most people die who get
back in the
attacked
ship
by bugs?
When they drop on us like that, yeah.
That happens often?
No. That drone will have to be taken out of service.
What sort of bugs were those?
Those are the grubs.
They were flying? Or they're just like crawling on him?
No, the drones carry them. They move them around wherever they need to go. I guess the bucket malfunctioned. Oh shit! Alive.
Maybe some help getting to the
infirmary.
Aid?
Yeah. I'll get there. Don't worry about me. Jeez. Well, he puts his arm on your shoulder and says, "Geez, you must be a good luck charm, kid. Thanks." And he just kind of pats you on the shoulder as he walks past you.
Like, oof, that was close. Okay. So I just like go hang out on the ship. I'm like, this planet sucks. So to avoid it, that was time for dinner.
Yeah.
I want to go eat dinner.
I gotta point out what time it is, guys.
Yeah, it's time to wrap up. All right, so I was going to wrap up actually right after the incident. So, all right, so we're going to wrap up here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Appreciate y'all for being here. So we're going to call it a night. Well, we didn't get near as far as I hoped, but we still had a lot of fun. So, apparently it might take us like 3 sessions to do this whole story. We'll see, though. All right, okay. So, we'll call it a night. Anyways, so we're gonna skedaddle. All right, bye.